You mastered one of the hardest languages on earth. You mastered Polish. You passed every exam possible. Some would say that you already reached the highest level of Polish. Even for Poles, they cannot speak the same way you speak Polish. What kind of resources helped you to reach that level?
I have to divide this into two parts. So the first part will be self-learning, and the second part will be with a tutor. And I find both of them very helpful. With self-learning, I was just trying to find all the available resources within my power. So uh, I think that nowadays there are a lot of free resources online. You could find YouTube videos, even some free podcasts,
Mm-hmm.
listen to music, and just use the language and talk to people. We have a lot of really nice events in Poznan too,
Mm-hmm.
including Polish cafe, and sometimes there are also some Poles showing up at the blah blah meeting. Just use the language and try your best to understand what have you been receiving from all the resources. And I think that's the way I was using during self-learning and with the tutor. uh, I think the tutor didn't really help me learn the language. It was more like a accelerator.
Oh,
So the difference of having and not having a tutor is that if you have a tutor, you learn much faster, and the tutor is there to point out a way for you to improve on the language. So when you are doing this on your own, yes, you are improving slowly, but you might like lose your way, or you have to keep your schedule very organized, like the whole learning plan. But with a tutor, the tutor has the whole learning plan for you
yeah.
already. You just follow, but you still have to do your homework and learn. And in that way, you learn much faster because it's the much organized system. Also, a tutor is very helpful with exams. If you want to pass any exam, no matter it's a occupational exam
Mm-hmm.
or just the certification exam, a tutor will train you to get used to the pattern of the exam instead of just working on the knowledge itself. So I found that also very helpful.
Yeah, going back to time management, you mentioned about you need to have your study plan like
Yeah.
mapped out for yourself when you're doing self-study.
Yes.
Can you give me an example of a self-plan study for Polish?
First of all, I have a confession to make here. Um, yeah, this guy has been learning Polish for so long, like 10 years, and yeah, he seems really good. He must be very disciplined, but no, I'm probably like the least disciplined guy, you know.
No, no, I can't believe. I don't believe you.
But the thing is, always find time and your way back to the language. So, of course, when I was learning Polish, I was also studying, and there was a lot of things to study from my main study already. And basically, every 1 or 2 weeks, I have a quiz to study, and the quiz will be about a whole chapter of that field.
It's the most important thing to learn in order to get a good start with Polish language.
Okay, I'm really glad you asked this question because this is like a really fundamental question every learner should ask themselves.
Mm-hmm.
So I will say that from my experience, there are several ground rules. So the first thing is that vocabulary is always more important than grammar.
Really?
Yes, let's think you want to use this weapon called Polish. Grammar is like different attachment to this firearm, and vocabulary are like ammunitions. So the thing is, okay, with more attachments, of course, your weapon is going to be better,
Yeah.
or maybe shoot more precisely, like more penetration, very good. But the thing is, okay, now you have a super cool gun, but you don't have bullets. You
No.
have zero ammunition. You cannot do anything. But even if you have just a basic gun, but you have a lot of ammunitions, you are going to get into the battle much easier.
That's a nice analogy, man.
Yeah. So this first rule, and the second thing is just learn the uh, 100 most used verb. You can find this information on a website called Cool Conjugator.
Cool conjugator.
Yes, it's basically a website that allows you to check different conjugations for Polish verbs. And at the front page, I think the home page of the Polish version of Cool Conjugator, there are listed top 50 or 100 most commonly used verb of Polish language. Study all of them, you'll have a much easier start.
100 verbs, yeah.
Master the 7 cases.
And what are the 7 cases?
What are 7 cases? So in English, they are nominative, accusative, genitive, dative, instrumental, locative, and vocative.
And in Polish?
In Polish, mianownik, biernik, dopełniacz, celownik, narzędnik, miejscownik i wołacz.
Okay, okay.
Yes, so these are like all the cool attachment to your gun that I have mentioned before. Like master them. There are just seven of them. So it's yeah, it might seem a lot at the very beginning, but it's totally manageable with time and patience.
And how to find a good tutor?
Good tutor.
What kind of things foreigner need to look, or that a teacher has that he needs to, in order to teach him Polish better? Because certainly we see a lot of teachers. I mean, in the group, like a lot of people, a lot of teachers, they put their ads there. Okay, we have online classes. We have also physical classes. So, how does a foreigner navigate this?
Personally, for example, I had a tutor for the B1 certification preparation, and I knew that my weak point was speaking skill. So I found a tutor that was forcing me to speak during lessons, and I found it pretty helpful. So in the end, I managed to get more than 90% from the speaking part, thanks to her. And if you are looking to improve grammar, then probably you should not look for a tutor that put like more emphasis on other things. I know maybe like this tutor will teach you like how to deal with different scenarios, but you are more interested in learning the grammar. So you are able to learn all the scenarios by yourself and explore all these scenarios, but the teachers are teaching you the scenarios instead of the grammar. So the grammatical part is going very slowly, and that was once also the case for me. I got another tutor before. She was also helping me with the B1 certification exam, but she wanted to make sure that I have a really good basic of A2 level. So we spent a lot of time doing A2 stuff, and in the end, I know that she want to be cautious, and the approach was pretty conservative, but I got impatient because most of things from A2 I already know, and okay, occasionally I will run into something that I don't know, like maybe a new word, or very rarely some new grammar, but I was feeling like it's taking too long, so I had to terminate the partnership with that tutor and switch to another one. That's what I mean by looking for a good tutor. Like look for something that is suitable for you. And I think a lot of tutors they also offer trial lessons. So
That's a good thing, yeah, to try first.
yeah, try and see if the method is suitable for you. If you like how the teacher is presenting the knowledge.
In your opinion, what's a realistic time frame for reaching conversational level in Polish?
It's all about how much time you put into the language. So for me to reach to, let's say, okay, to talk about this topic, we need to have like a definition of communicative level, right?
Yes.
So let's say the communicative level is to get around Poland pretty comfortably without like huge problems. So you are able to talk in the shop, in the restaurants, like uh, express what your needs and basically solve any problems that you run into in your life. And maybe from time to time have a small talk with the locals. That's what we call communicative levels. Right?
Yes.
So to reach that level, I would say that if you use the exam scale to look at it, that will be around B1 level.
Mm-hmm.
And uh, if you manage, I think it's quite pretty manageable to learn the 7 cases within half a year. And to reach B1 level, according to my knowledge, you will need around 2,000 to 3,000 vocabulary.
2,000 to
Yeah.
3,000
Yes,
words.
words to reach B1 level. So um, let's say you learn 10 new words every day. It will take you around half a year to around 9 year. No, 6 to 9 months. Sorry, 6 to 9 months to reach that level. So, but that's like like for a very consistent guy. That's
So every day.
put in all the hustles. Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
Hustling every day.
hustling every day. Then you will be able to reach that level within half a year. It's doable, but it will be pretty intensive. But so in my case, I was studying Polish while studying in a university, and at the end, by the end of my study, I was also studying for various exams. I was studying for 3 exams at the same time, and all of them were like life-changing exams. So
Yeah.
it took me much
Actually,
longer than half a year to reach that level.
Yeah.
It took me 4 years to reach B1 level, but that was the result of like casually studying after university classes and not really speaking on a daily basis. That would take you 4 years in my case, as I know. But if you're a hustling guy, yeah, go for it.
Go
Half a
for it.
year done.
Half year done. Yeah. Yeah, certainly there are a lot of options. So you have apps, you have teachers, you have meetings, you have YouTube videos, you have vocabulary lists. What works and what doesn't work?
I don't really have a vocabulary list, but what I had was something similar, but I would say quite different. I had vocabulary notes. What differ from a vocabulary note from a vocabulary list? So you will get a vocabulary list probably from a teacher, from some books. They will give you a list of vocabulary to memorize. And personally, I don't like to do that. Of course, when you get this kind of list, it's nice to have. Um, but not everything you read from that list will be
Like useful for you.
no, every word is useful at some point. Of course, at the moment, some words might be like too complicated or too difficult for you at that moment, and yeah, you could just skip it. But
Now, let's say, for example, someone will give you his personal vocabulary list, but he's studying the dentistry, or he's studying medicine. For sure, he's gonna include some medical words that I probably won't use in the streets. Like,
yeah, in rare cases that might happen.
yeah,
But what I wanted to say is that not every word is going to be as problematic as the others. So sometimes you look at a word like, okay, 2 3 times, okay, you already have it in your head.
yep.
It's memorized. But for some words, even if you have seen it like 15 times, it just doesn't stick with you. And that's the problematic word. You don't need to have a long list of the
Wo-
mix of all of them. You need a list of the words that are problematic for you, so you can go back and review them. That's why a vocabulary note is much more effective than a vocabulary list.
So you take a vocabulary list, and then you extrapolate or take the words that are problematic for you, and then you
Yes.
create a vocabulary note.
Yes. This vocabulary note can come from, for example, any learning method. It doesn't need to be coming from a vocabulary list. It can be from, for example, you listen to podcasts and you notice a word that you have never heard before, and you Google it, and then you just write down the word in your note. Or for example, you're reading a book, and then you notice a few words that you have never seen before. Write them down. Yeah, make it a note. Yeah, different methods, any through any channels. If you find a word that's not familiar with you, then you're not familiar with, then just write it down. Make that note. It's going to be helpful than just getting a list from somebody somewhere. And from that point, I have to also bring up the difference between passive receiving and active learning. So what I was talking about, the note and the list, was basically what I'm talking right now. So a lot of people they struggle with learning a language because um, the method they're using is actually passive receiving. So their main channel of acquiring the knowledge is probably from a teacher, or okay, they are learning by themselves, but they never ask why is it like that. You get a knowledge from a teacher, you get a knowledge from the book, and then you just memorize everything that's been thrown to your way. That's called passive receiving. And at the end of the day, you will be struggling with one question is that why is things like that? And you but you're still doing the same, just receiving knowledge, but you never try to find out why. And but it's troubling you. And active learning is different from passive receiving on a level that you are constantly asking why, even it's like a very small thing. So uh, I was implementing this method when I was learning the language, and I would ask myself, why is the ending changing into that? And sometimes I was trying to predict how words are being conjugated,
Mhm.
and I have my own theory in head. And later I will verify with the information I found, for example, online or in a book, and oh, my theory is wrong, but why? And I compare them, and I will have a really clear table, a clear system in my head. Like,
Yeah.
okay, is this word is being conjugated like that, and the ending will look like that. So next time I see a new word that nobody told me how to conjugate, I know how to conjugate it because I have think it through already. I have thought it through already. So
It's like chess. You predict the next move, so you
yes,
predict the word.
yes. I understand that not everyone has time and the mental capacity to do that, but if even if you are just doing it from time to time, I think that it will be very helpful.
Do you think that learning Polish changed the perception of Poles about you?
Oh yeah, definitely, definitely. I noticed a huge difference. So around the 5 years of my study, close to my graduation, because I was studying for the medical Polish exam intensively, I got that great leap in the language. So because of this huge breakthrough, I was able to talk um, under a lot of circumstances very naturally and with minimal mistakes. And I noticed that post they started to come to me to talk to me. So before, probably I will go to like a social occasion and then, yeah, I do know some Polish. I could answer some simple questions, but I could never formulate like a full paragraph of reply, they know. And it's not like they don't speak English, but they will wait. A lot of time they will wait until you talk to them before they actually reach out to you. But when they notice that you speak Polish, even on a communicative level, they they just come to you and start talking, and they have a lot of questions. They're super curious about you, but they wouldn't do the same thing in English all the time. Like, of course, every person is different, but I find that you will have a much better time with Poles if you know the
Mm.
language, and you're also able to understand what they are talking about, not like on the very literal meaning that what they are saying in their language, but there are some, for example, some jokes. It's
Mm.
only funny in Polish, and then when they talk about it, and then they have to explain that to you in English, it's just not the same.
Can you give me an example?
There's this joke. Po co Wisła się kończy?
Okay.
So why does the Vistula River end? And in Polish, the answer is pomoże.
Okay.
And in English, the explanation would be because pomoże means because of sea, but it also sounds like because it can.
Can. Ah, okay. Yeah, I mean, it ends because of the sea. I mean,
Pomoże.
Pomoja. Okay. What kind of hard words you know in Polish? Like hard, longest word you know?
I haven't done this for some time, so I might get a little rusty, but
Rusty.
I will try. So it will be something like "Stuzy polwołamy wanymi nogami."
Yeah, that sounds very
Yeah,
rhythmic.
so like the
Yeah.
broken
Mm,
part in this sentence is like,
mm,
oh, it took me some time to master that.
mm. Yeah, and during your time living in Poland, have you ever experienced any kind of racism?
I mean, when we talk about racism, I think like there are two types. So the first type is that of course uh, they approach you with bad intentions and they are trying to be mean to you because they actually know what they are doing and they intend to do that. And the second part is that they actually don't know what they are doing. They think that it's funny. They just lack of probably the cultural awareness, or they're not well educated enough in that part. Uh, so I have encountered both,
Mm,
uh, and but most of the time I find like Poles are very friendly.
mhm,
Uh, in in the cities, like I would say 99% of the time, you're going to encounter really nice people.
mm,
No, there's no any discomfort when you talk to them.
mhm. So it depends what kind of places you're going to. Like,
Yeah, of course, when you go to a much smaller city, much smaller town, probably there's not so many foreigners there, and they know very little about you,
yeah.
and they might say something that's a bit surprising,
Mhm.
and for them it might be funny, but for you probably it's an uncomfortable situation. But I mean, just talk to them, and probably if it's making you uncomfortable, just explain to them. A lot of them they are saying it because they think it's funny, and or maybe they think that you actually would say something like that as a joke.
Mm.
uh, but if you tell them that it's not a joke, it's making me uncomfortable, they will know.
Okay, they'll understand.
They understand.
And in terms of dating in Poland,
Dating in Poland.
yeah, as a Taiwanese, as a foreigner,
Oh, you have been waiting for this question.
how is it? Can you tell me how did it change, first of all? Because at first you came no Polish skills,
Mhm.
then after some time you had the Polish skills. So can you tell me before and after Polish?
Actually, dating might also be a great way to learn the language.
Who knew?
Yeah, yeah. Even when you don't know, you don't know a lot about Polish. Just try to like text or talk in Polish, and a lot of time I not even to a girl, or you can do this to like any Polish friend you have, and just try to text or talk in Polish, and most of the time the reaction you will get is that they think that you're adorable.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, they
exactly.
think that you're adorable, even though you totally like you made probably seven grammatical mistake in one sentence with very bad pronunciation, but they are like, oh, that's so cute, and they are very willing to help you. So come on, it's a free tutoring.
Like,
Don't miss out on that. And with dating, okay. Mm, so I think that there's not like really a huge difference. Dating a Polish girl when you know Polish or when you don't know Polish, the main difference here would be that you are able to understand her much more if you know the language.
mhm.
Um, but if you both speak like a common language on pretty good level, then at a pretty good level, then I don't see there's a huge problem.
Like, how did
There's
it change your dating life?
how did it change my dating
Yes.
life? Okay, so um,
Let's say, for example, because some people, when you date Polish girl
mhm,
and you speak only in English,
yes.
sometimes there are some, let's say, not cultural difference, but language difference will affect the relationship.
Oh yeah, sometime.
Especially because for us, even English is not our first language.
Yes.
So we are like translating from our mother language to another foreign language.
Yes.
Same for Polish women.
Yes. So there's a few factors to consider. So it greatly depends on the English level of both of you. So of course, the better the level, the better communication you will have. And I have been in both situations before. So if even just one person uh, is not able to communicate in English that well, then yes, there are going to be some problems. Basically, because they are not able to communicate, like talk about what they want you to do or what they think about something, if very effectively. And it's always that um, inability in expressing the needs and values that's causing the problem. So at the end of the day, every successful relationship needs mutual understanding. And if you are not able to understand each other by just talking, then
What?
that's a huge problem.
Even if the physical connection is good, you need the
Yes,
you need the
exactly.
communication, the mental
Yes.
connection. And what's the difference between dating in Taiwan and in Poland
Oh,
in terms of, I think, cultural, in terms of culture?
so I came to Poland when I was 19.
Oh.
Before that, I was a boring teenager. Like I was one of the boring Asian kid at school that as in the stereotype.
Yeah.
So I was not dating a lot in Taiwan, and I pretty much started my dating life after I came to Poland.
So Poland did good for you.
Yes. Um, but from what I noticed, because I used to have also quite some female classmates in my university. So when I compare the interaction between both group, I can tell you that um, I think that Polish girls they are more open to talk about different topics, even at the very beginning of the relationship. And it takes a bit longer for Taiwanese girl to warm up. And also, I find it very amazing that a lot of Polish girls they have their secretly they have some specific interest or hobby. I ever seen like horse riding, photography, crocheting, all kind of different hobby, and it's, for me, it's like super cool. It's like you meet a new person and then you're like reading a book. And in Taiwan, I think because the Asian culture does put a lot of emphasis on education and study, so we were we are not encouraged to explore our own interests and hobby. So a lot of girls, when you talk to them, they don't know what's their hobby or
They don't. They will tell you just something generic.
generic. Yes,
You know,
they
I
will
like.
talk about like what movie is good or what restaurants to go to.
Yeah,
Some very, I mean, yeah, it's something to talk about, but
yeah.
is when you have like a hobby or some interest, for me is something that's personalized and it's like interesting to explore. And
Mm.
what's more, it's a very good dating idea. If she likes this and you don't know what this is about, just go try this new
Mm.
activity. Maybe you will also like it. It's also like a really good dating idea.
Yeah, exactly. I think some Polish women are very refined, so they know what they want, and they have their unique hobbies, the unique, the, you know, way of life. So that it's not generic. It's not like, okay, I like movies, I like traveling, I like cats. Everyone likes cats. So you see, they have their unique thing, and like you said, it could be a good dating idea. Okay,
Yes.
she knows, like, I don't know, some kind of special hobby. Okay,
Mhm.
she will teach you that hobby, or you're gonna teach her your
Yes.
hobby, so you share.
Yes, that was also something very inspiring that happened to me. So before coming here and actually date any Polish girl, um, I s- I didn't know actually what do I like about something. So there was once I got asked this question that, oh, so what's your favorite book? What's your favorite movie? And it's actually the first time like somebody asked me that question. Can you imagine? Like after living on this planet for 20 years,
Hmm.
you hear this question for the first time, and then the answer is none. It's a total blank in your head. And then you're like, whoa, I have actually never think about this question. And starting from that point, when I read a book or when I watch a movie, I actually pay much more attention to it. So later when I talk about topics like this, I actually would have something to say and to share
Mm.
instead of like, oh, I don't know.
It's the same sentiment I have. Like whenever I try to find a book to read, I never read like novels or this like love stories, or I just read like something that like self-development books. So I mean, when you read something like a self-development book, you get exposed to so many, let's say, new scientific theories, so many tips about living your life, psychological tips that you can share with other people and spark interesting conversation.
Hmm.
If you compare it to a novel, okay, the hero lost his girlfriend or his wife, and then he fights to get her back, blah blah. Same thing. It's all the same thing. It's not like
Hmm.
this kind of realistic, let's say, genre, right?
Yes, I agree with what you say, but I do see this a little
Mm-hmm.
differently because I think that um reading would actually enrich your knowledge and enrich the topics you're able to talk about with other people. So there, of course, not everyone are reading nonfiction books. So occasionally you'll still run into some people they like all they talk about is funny stories or like
Yeah.
some kind of hero story like you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
And no matter it's from a movie, a series, or a book, and
Oh.
when you when they talk about this, it's very obvious that they are not interested in nonfiction books and maybe the topic they are related to these books. You cannot be like, okay, your story is cool. Do you know this theory about self-development? And they'll be like, nah, I'm out of here. Conversation end.
Um,
So from time to time, I also read some fiction books.
Mhm.
So when somebody mentions something like that, I will also have something to share, and yeah, maybe study from there, like
Mhm.
guide them into the world of nonfiction books.
Non-fiction works. Yeah, I know. I mean, you will not just like throw some theories at them. Oh yeah, no. It's like
No,
use them, slide them in the conversation when they talk about the topic. Oh, okay, I read this, and that. So it will be interesting. Yeah.
yeah.
And do you think that Poland in 2026 is still worth it for Taiwanese?
For Taiwanese, it depends on the purpose of your visit. So a lot of Taiwanese people before came to study either medicine or dentistry because it's a very popular study in Taiwan, but it's also very hard to get into such study. It will be you need to be literally the top 1% of the students.
Wow.
So you have to get a full score on your college entrance exam. Um, um, it's doable, but it's very hard, like really, really hard. If you are not gifted or you are not that disciplined, and another thing about Asian exams is that I don't think that Asian exams are actually trying to check if you know the basic knowledge. So they are not trying to check if you are qualified for something. They are trying to distinguish good students from bad students.
That's all.
So they sometimes the questions are just like extra hard. So the good student will know the answer. Like the less good student, they will have a really troublesome time with it. That's how the culture is. And uh, mm, I think a few years earlier, the Taiwanese government has laid down a new law stating that
Hmm.
all the students who graduate abroad uh, would have to pass an extra exam to start it, to start practice medicine or dentistry in Taiwan. And basically is an exam dedicated to all the graduates overseas, so they can make the exam as difficult as they want. So I think it just put like a huge, it significantly increased the threshold for entering the field for all the
Hmm.
uh, graduates from abroad. That's why if you are trying to become a doctor or dentist and try to walk
Hmm.
my path, it's a bit difficult and probably not worth it right now unless you are really determined on that. Then I don't see why not. Uh, but for some other reasons, like you're trying to see the world, you're trying to experience a different culture. I think Poland is a pretty good place. The living cost is quite reasonable for me, and it's uh, it's safe. There's a lot of to explore and uh, come explore the Polish language.
It's part of the culture.
Yes,
And do you plan on staying in Poland for long, or you want to return to Taiwan?
and at the moment, if I could, I will definitely stay in Poland. So I came here when I just became an adult. So I would say that this country and this culture shape who I am today on a very large scale or like a very huge degree. So
Mm.
I can say that I think 100% like traditional Taiwanese. I'm definitely under the influence of this culture and this country. Especially, I have put in so much effort into language,
I
right?
mean, yeah,
So
it's a lot of investment.
yeah, and I'm getting quite comfortable here. I'm not planning to go anywhere.
Mm. And what's one thing you wish you knew before coming to Poland?
Probably for some people, the answer they are expecting will be something that I know about the culture, or I will know something, so I will get like my life here will be instantly better, right? But it's actually none of these things. Um, For me, this is a very valuable learning experience to occasionally step into some traps or experience some culture shock. That's like the best part of living in a different country. I wouldn't want to know something like that earlier before I came. Then what's the fun, right?
Exactly.
Well, what I would know is for the younger version of myself to be more open to communications and uh, have more courage to explore different things on a more earlier stage. So I have mentioned that this country shaped a lot of what I am today, and the most obvious thing that has changed me was probably that I used to be a very timid, shy little boy. I don't know if you can call an 18 years old
Yeah.
guy little boy, but for me, when I'm looking at that guy, 18 years old version of myself, it's a little boy. By the time sometimes I couldn't even talk to people while looking into their eyes. Like I had problem with communication and opening up. Um, my life would instantly get much better, and I would adapt to the Polish life much easier if I open up much earlier. But it it took me some time, but eventually, yeah, the change has came to me, and
Mm.
yeah, literally, I just went from a guy who's not able to look into people's eye while talking to today. Like I'm sitting in front of Cherub and
Yeah.
talking to cameras. We're having
Yeah,
an interview.
that's
Like
really
that's
amazing.
like the contrast here. That's
Yeah.
amazing for me.
Yeah, Poland changed you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's amazing, man. Kai, thank you so much. I think we can end the video here.
All
Thank you
right.
so much,
Thank you.
man. It was amazing.